Billy was driving his Model 3 with the cruise control set to 50 miles per hour when a moving truck pulled out to cross an intersection in front of him. Billy had no chance to stop and smashed straight into the truck. Adaptive cruise control was activated, but he took over before Autopilot reacted. Billy says it scared the heck out of him, especially since he had his 2 young daughters in the back seat. Luckily, everyone was okay, and Billy says he's forever grateful to his Tesla for protecting him and his daughters. We asked him if Autopilot gave him any warnings or engaged automatic emergency braking, and he told us that nothing like that happened, which is weird because it usually reacts to things like vehicles in front of him. The Tesla sustained massive damage. All of the airbags deployed and it lost a front wheel, revealing extensive damage to the suspension and the front subframe and body panels. Billy's insurance company was quick to determine the Tesla a total loss and is sending him a check for over $50,000 US. Stacy and her husband were headed northbound on I-680 to the supercharger in Concord, California. That's when they noticed a wrong-way driver in a black pickup truck driving directly at them. Stacy's husband was driving at the time and steered them to safety. Stacy says her screaming probably didn't help the situation, but she's thankful they made it home safely. They were in complete shock at the time and didn't think to call the California Highway Patrol until after they'd exited the freeway and had begun supercharging. They hope that one of the many other cars who witnessed the wrong-way driver had already reported it. Ivan was driving his sons David and Alexander home from tennis camp while listening to Minecraft parody songs when, on the right, a black Kia was holding back traffic while waiting to turn left. An impatient driver decided to go around them even though it wasn't safe to do so. Wham bam, it rolled that pickup, man. While we're on the subject of rolling, let's roll the intro.
Wham bam, Teslacam, I hope you're satisfied.
Both drivers were up and walking around right after the accident, though the pickup driver had to climb out of his passenger window / new sunroof. Ivan pulled over and shared his Teslacam footage with the police, who had never seen a Tesla up close. They said it was really nice and that the single video cameras in their cop cars have to be installed aftermarket and don't have such great resolution. Ivan plans to send his local police department articles about other law enforcement agencies that are saving money by driving Teslas. In this particular case, the police said that Teslacam footage was instrumental in determining who was at fault at the scene. A witness said someone else had waved the pickup truck through the intersection and then sped off after the accident. David was driving his Model 3 in a construction zone on a highway in Plantersville, Texas, when all of a sudden a car came flying through the air from the opposite direction. Apparently, the driver didn't see that the highway had been redirected around the construction, and this resulted in a massive crash. Luckily, the driver was okay, but David thinks he was probably looking at his phone when the crash occurred, although he can't be sure. Stefan was driving his Model 3 in Indianapolis, Indiana, down a highway with rain pouring down. Up ahead, he noticed a truck who changed his mind about exiting at the last second, hitting the impact attenuator water barrels and almost hitting another car. Later, when Stefan drove past it, he noticed it was a rental truck. Santosh came out of his car one morning to find the biggest bird poop he'd ever seen on his hood. Annoyed and irritated, he sat down in his car only to find a Sentry mode alert waiting for him. Afraid of what he might find, he started playback. Sure enough, there it was. Video evidence of the bird sitting on the hood of his car and making a really strange grimace as it left its poopy present. Santosh says he's just lucky he went for a protective wrap on the car. It finally paid off. Vinay had just picked up his Model 3 a week ago and was headed for a quick lunch with Sentry mode enabled. He came back to find that he had a Sentry mode alert. He thought the driver was a bit slow until he realized that they were driving on clean energy. Wait, who added that drum sound? No, don't get crazy with the drums again, Wham Bam. Danny was driving his Tesla in Aurora, Colorado when a motorcycle passed him and decided to give his Teslacam a show. At the next light, the biker stops in front of him, but when the light turns green, the show must go on. Danny thinks the motorcyclist was so excited to see a Tesla that he just felt he had to put on a show. Or maybe he had a flat tire and was trying to avoid riding on it too much. Enough with the drums, Wham Bam. Mark was driving his Model Y down the highway in Merced, California when he passed a semi-truck with a rather special advertisement printed on its trailer. Mark went crazy when he saw it. AMC to the moon. Mark told us he likes the stock so much that he's invested in it, and he tells us that apes are stronger together. Unfortunately, his stocks are down ever since he passed the semi-truck. We aren't a financial advice channel, but come on. If it's printed on the back of a semi-truck, what can go wrong? Yoni was driving his Model S south on US Route 101 in California when he heard a loud noise. Looking in his rearview mirror, he saw a car coming at him on its roof. Yoni contacted the local authorities and shared his Teslacam footage with them. Ryan was traveling north on I-195 to volunteer in a rescue squad as an EMT when he witnessed a collision. The road is 4 lanes wide, and if we watch the white SUV in lane number 4, we can see they failed to merge before the lane ended. They then attempted to merge into lane number 3, causing the vehicle in that lane to swerve to avoid a collision, instead striking the car in lane number 2. This caused them to slam into the concrete barrier. The driver of the white SUV didn't stop and just kept on going. Ryan was able to stop and check on everyone, and there were no major injuries. The driver of the car in lane number 3 that overcorrected was a younger, newer driver with her parents riding in the car. She was cited for a traffic infraction and had to go to court where she was ordered to take a driver's education class. Following the collision, Ryan provided the Teslacam video to all drivers involved and to the state police. The responding police officer saw the video but still wrote the young driver a ticket. All Ryan could do was shake his head over the decision. What do you think? Did the young driver deserve to get a ticket? Leave a comment and let us know. Peter was on the Autobahn in Austria when a truck had a tire blow out in front of him. Luckily, he avoided getting hit and continued on. He was actually on his way to take his pilot's exam. Congratulations, Peter. Fly safe. What, no drums now, Wham Bam? This is literally the only time in this video where it would have made sense. Okay, that's not what I meant. Let's keep going. This submitter was driving his Model 3 in Belgium. There was heavy rain and he was traveling at around 55 miles per hour. Suddenly, a BMW came speeding up behind him. Or maybe we should say he came sliding up behind him? Luckily for the BMW driver, there was an on-ramp that gave him some more space, so he only barely tapped the barrier. That could have been much worse. Ivan was driving his Model 3 north on I-405 through Los Angeles, California, when a car started veering toward the concrete center divider before crashing into it. Luckily, only the one vehicle had any damage, and there were no other vehicles or people involved. Ivan adds that the driver didn't seem to be seriously injured since he managed to put his turn signal on and exit the freeway safely. He personally thinks the driver might have been asleep at the wheel. Alex was sitting at a red light in Los Angeles, California when a bicycle rear-ended a Toyota Corolla that had stopped for a pedestrian. How interesting. I didn't even know Honda made bicycles.
We've got a badass over here.
Okay, now the drums are getting out of control. Can someone please stop him? YouTuber Tesla Ho was checking out some Model Y aftermarket items at a store in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, when he noticed a man speedwalking behind him getting faster and faster. That's when he heard one of the employees yell, "Hey, get back here!" He chased the guy out to his Civic, where we can see the store employee pull out his phone to take pictures of the car and its license plates. The employee yelled at the shoplifter that he'd gotten his plate number, and the shoplifter replied with, "That's okay, the car is stolen anyway," before driving off. Tesla Ho left the store manager his contact info in case she wanted his footage. The manager wanted us to mention that their employees are told not to pursue any thieves for their own safety. Alexander went to get some Thai food with his son, so he parked his Tesla before walking to the restaurant. After placing his order, he walked back out and saw a Jeep Rubicon backing up. That's when he noticed it wasn't stopping and it backed right into his 2-day-old Model 3. Alexander called the Whittier Police Department to make a police report. The Jeep driver had no active insurance and she kept trying to leave when her friends came and picked her up. She was nowhere to be found when the police finally arrived to take a report. While Joe was on the entrance ramp to I-295, a Range Rover almost came to a complete stop before making a sharp left turn off the ramp, only to drive back up to the main road on the ramp's shoulder. Brian was on his way home from a pickleball game in Carmichael, California when, as he puts it, a zombie jaywalked across a busy road, causing a multi-vehicle accident. The zombie didn't stop to check on the victims, he just kept shambling along. Brian stopped and gave the victims his contact information, letting them know he had captured the incident on Teslacam, but nobody ever contacted him. It had been raining, so the streets where Ben was were a bit flooded. A car changed lanes as it was driving by a bus stop and ended up soaking the people waiting for the bus. Ben says they looked very upset and he felt really bad for them. What a way to end this week's episode. Let's play that one more time in slow motion. And I guess we can let Wham Bam loose on the drums one last time. Hit it!